superstars. Welcome back to our live. Make sure the volume is up. Okay, so I had to cut it off. I had to cut off part one, but go back to part one to look at how to reprogram your subconscious. Part one is really important because that's the part that helps you understand what a lot of people miss, which is a part of your mindset. You got to have that mindset of the I am, and who you really are is your foundation, right? So you are not the human. You are who's inside of the human. The human is on autopilot. The human is your physical matter that responds to your instruction. And so the human, if the human is not receiving instruction by you, your human is receiving instruction by who? Society, teachers, parents, your boss, friends, lover, your spouse, partners, family, all of that, right? And so you really have to be in control of what human is receiving as data in order to reprogram yourself. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, comment and just ask me to explain a different way, and I certainly will. So the steps to do that are the way that I did it, and the way that I do it is recognizing my human is the way that I want to be perceived. My human is who I present to everybody in this third dimensional reality. My human is who I say my human is. And so that is the output. Okay, your human is a shell. Your human is a vessel. And your human is a blessing, because you can't be without your human and be in this physical realm, right? So remember, look at part one, because the part two to that is become best friends with your human. Anybody who has coached with me, you know that is the foundational steps that we go through before we begin anything else. Is who is your human and who are you? If you can't get that in alignment and see that as your truth, how can you reprogram who you are and who you are becoming? Because you won't know. You have to know where you're coming from, right? And so that takes some courage, because a lot of the times you've been told who you are, right? I mean, am I the only one? I was told that I was no good, that I wasn't going to amount to anything, that I was going to be a failure. I was told that if I didn't leave a state, I'm from New York, if I didn't leave New York, that I would be dead or in jail. That's what I was told. And you might look at me and say, okay, what? Like, Miss Necole, you were told that? Like, what were you doing? I was told that. And I was told, well, my mother was told that. And still, I still needed to be able to say, okay, I am not what people are saying. I am more than that. And I am different from that. I was told that I was too shy and that wasn't good. I was told that I didn't deserve a certain pay, and I knew that was wrong. Or did I? Right? Because you're confused when people are telling you you're one thing and you're like, that's not me. It doesn't feel right. Something feels off inside, or it makes you feel sad. It makes you feel judged, criticized. It makes you feel belittled, whatever it is. That's telling you that you're able to reprogram You're a human, okay? And so you have to be able to say, I know who I am, and it's not who I'm being told I am. That's a truth. So you have to be able to see that truth for what it is first. I hope that makes sense. The second way that you're able to start doing that is, or the way that you start doing that is, you have to ask your human, your human has to ask you what your name is. And you have to be able to tell your human what your name is. And your human has to be able to then say, okay, so I know that I've been protecting you my whole life because there's something in me that has been bumping heads with what people have been telling us to do, right? You've been in disagreement with people, places, you've had opinions, right? Who's making those opinions? Who's disagreeing with the norm, right? Is this making sense? Hit the thumbs up button if this makes sense. And again, comment if it doesn't, and I'll explain it a different way. So the point is, you're seeing how this internal conflict has been prompting you to make really important foundational pivots, because you are not who everyone has either told you you are or has tried to make you believe you are. It's not true. And so you've just really refused to live this lie. And you're like, I'm not going to do it. And so you have to reprogram who you are. Let me tell you, perfect example of where I'm at right now. I am in front of this building. It's an 1100 building. Years ago, this had to be 18 years ago. 18 years ago, I would be coming here from work. This is the exact light that would catch me. It would catch me on the opposite end of where I'm at, and I would be coming back this way. It was when people were telling me I wasn't going to be a mom. And at this light, it would catch me every time. And what would be on the radio at the time? It would be telling me that I'm going to be a foster mom. Every single time, to the point of me saying, this light is going to catch me today, I bet you. It's going to catch me. And boom, it would catch me. And I would sit there and I would look at my radio in my car, and the commercial would come on. And one day I said, okay, I am going to do what this commercial says. And this commercial said, look into foster care, because the doctors were telling me, you won't be a mom, don't even try, because you'll die, and so will your baby. And people were telling me, I know that's what you've always wanted to do, but maybe you should just listen to the doctors. When inside of me, I was really like this to the doctors, and I was really like this to everybody, because I needed somebody to believe what I knew deep inside, and what Spirit was telling me was that I was going to be a mama. And so one day I acted on it against what everyone was telling me, right? I was reprogramming my subconscious, who was on autopilot and listening to everybody else, and was causing me to be sad. It was causing me to doubt my own spiritual guidance, right? I listened, and we got into sync with each other, best friends. My human and I were like this. At that point, my human started listening, because I kept saying, I am a mama. I'm already a mama. Because I've got eggs in me. I'm already a mama. Can't tell me I'm not going to be a mama. And it's going to work. My kids are going to be born. And so I did exactly what I'm telling you to do now. And how it worked for us. I'm just going to have to go down to the next exit because I can't get. Because my son is in the car with me, so it works. Alright? And my baby girl's at home. So what I'm telling you works. And so I literally listened, and I answered the ad, or I called, and do you know the foster care place was right there? Right where I kept getting caught at the light and where the ad kept coming on, the place to sign up was right, the building that I was looking at, next to the 1100 building that said was there. So, once I did that, I learned how to become a mom in this third dimensional life, not just the desire, but the practical steps of, I needed to learn CPA, I needed to learn that there was a hospital around the corner, why that was so important to know. I needed to know who to have on speed dial. I needed to know how to let people in so that I could have babysitters and I could know who to trust and not, and how to deepen my spiritual discernment, and how to look into daycare, all of it. How to swaddle a baby. I had never changed a diaper since a long time. I did change diapers, but for a long time. And I didn't know CPR, and I didn't know certain things, how to stop a diaper rash. Had to be a mama. I was an auntie, so I did a lot of stuff, but it wasn't a mama. So anyway, once I reprogrammed my human to believe what I was telling my human, I tell you what to do. That's what I kept telling my human. And at the time, my human's name was Jennifer. I was Necole. So now we're both Necole Anré'V, legally. Who my human was doesn't exist anymore, so it just made sense to legally make that so in this third dimensional life we live. Right? So the steps to reprogramming your subconscious is understanding, one, you are consciousness. You are not your subconscious. You are not on autopilot. You are more than that. You are unlimited. The impossible is where you exist. You reside in the fifth dimension. You are only capable of being here in the third dimension because of your human body, because of your vessel, because you could not exist solely in the physical realm without a dense physical matter, a body to reside inside of. So, in order for you not to go crazy, you have to stay grounded in your reality. And the reality that you play inside of is third dimensional reality. It is not the infinite. It is finite. It is where you have to believe possibilities are there. It is judgmental. It is chaotic. But in between that, and understand that there's beauty there too. In order for you to see that, you have to see that the spiritual side of life, which means to tap in as the soul within your human. Okay, so if you're seeing and you're knowing there's something more than the third dimensional reality that we call life, if you know there's more to going to work, there's more than being told what to do, there's more than following society's rules, there's more to life, your infinite, the impossible is happening all the time. Look at that German Shepherd. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh.
The possibilities and all of that is gorgeous. And all of that is happening. You're already there.
Handsome.
Very handsome. So you are reaffirming who you are. But the first person you're reaffirming your truth to is who? You. You are your worst critic. You are the most judgmental to yourself. You beat yourself down more than anybody else because you've been taught to do that. Have you not? I know I was. And if I let anybody continue to convince me, it's because I give thought to people judging me. It would be because people that tell me you shouldn't do this, you should do that, you know, or you're so this and that, whatever it is that's mean, that criticizes me, that finds fault in me. So in order to reprogram your human, which is your subconscious, you have to allow you to come out and play. You have to come out and say, I'm consciously aware that this matrix that we call life is happening, but there is this infinite life that I exist in and that will always be and always was, because energy is never created or destroyed. So how can that be true? And science has already proven that we know that as the foundation of physics. You don't even have to say it as quantum physics. It is physics that children learn, that I teach. Physics says energy is not created nor destroyed. It is just transferred. Right? It transcends. And so we know that's true. So even if you need to tell your human, we are simply changing energy. Then tell your human it that way. So the first and only person you need to really convince is your human. To reprogram your subconscious, you are convincing your human to live the life that you have been instructed and blessed with by divine source. Your human will not know that until you allow your human to believe the vision that you keep showing your human. Because your human is seeing it. Your human is aware of what's happening in the mind. And you are the mind. Right? You are the mind. You are consciousness. But your human has neurons firing off. The chemical reactions, the sensory reactions, all of that. The brain waves, the frequencies, all of it. Your human is very aware. Your human is understanding this communication tells your human what to do. And so what we feel on a metaphysical level is the spiritually guided spiritual communication, which are the tingles, the prickles, the sensations, the feeling like you walked into a cobweb, the feeling like the tickling in your skin, under your skin, that you can't quite get rid of because you've got electrical sensations surging through you, communicating with energy within you and outside of you. So all of that is happening that tells you you're more than just what people say. You're more than what people have made you to believe. You are a miracle walking. It's some crazy number of the chances of that you made it as a reincarnated human, like 475 trillion, like, right, one out of however many that is. If you know it, please comment what that really is, the ratio of the chances of you being born and you made it, like all the possibilities, and you made it. You live out your truth, and you have to find what that is. What did you come here to do? What is it that is your sole purpose? And that sole purpose changes. So don't think that because you're living this life, which feels like a lie, because it is an act. You are on the stage we call life, but it's pulling you closer to your infinite life. It's pulling you closer to your purpose-driven life. For example, my whole career, my first career was management. It taught me how to talk to people. It taught me how to look at leadership in a way. Leadership coaching is different from managing people. So I had to learn both ways. But it taught me what I was capable of too. I reached the glass ceiling in my jobs, meaning I couldn't go any further but to have the general manager's job or something like that. So it let me know this ain't it. Because I am the top. I am still going. And so I can't be held down, put in a box, right? And so you take all those qualities, the skills, your experiences, and it gives you what you need to get to the next level of your infinite life. And so you're reprogramming yourself every step of the way by speaking life into you. And by telling you're human, when someone says something negative to you or about you, that's not true. Because I know who I am. You know, I know that I'm this. If someone says that you're not going to amount to anything, is that true or is it not true? And so if you know it's not true, then you get to say that that's not true, because this is who I am, and these are the steps that I'm taking to make sure I can bring that to fruition. And where you see that it might be true and it doesn't jive with what you believe about yourself, it doesn't resonate, then you get to continue to reprogram your human to say, we are going to start going in this direction. Who do I need to talk to? What steps do I need to take to get into school? Who do I need to start hanging around? You know, when you start talking positively and you start speaking life into you, your human starts to believe that. But it has to be on rotation. So for example, I believed I was a celebrity spiritual coach, spiritual advisor. I believed that. I believed it. I believed it in the beginning so hard that nobody could tell me different. And how did I believe that so hard? Every day that I realized I was awake, I said it. First thing in the morning, I said it. as a spiritual advisor to celebrities. And I would see celebrities, and you were my celebrities, my spiritual superstars. I would go downstairs, drop the kids off. I'll go for my walk. I get on a live with you. I would go home, start my coaching, have my coffee, my tea, whatever it was, get into my zone. And I felt the part and what that embodied to me. And it didn't take much longer for me to receive a couple of emails and a couple of calls from talent scouts that were seeking a celebrity spiritual advisor for a reality show. It's legit. I reprogrammed my human to know that's who we were at the time. And who we weren't was any limited box that anybody chose to put me in. That's their business. It wasn't mine. So spiritual superstar, you have to know that anybody telling you you're not that amazing esthetician or hair guru or chef or spiritual advisor, coach, Reiki healer, public speaker, anybody telling you that's not your life is just projecting onto you, and that's none of your business. So you have to guard your human from absorbing that, because your human just is out there, for sake of better terminology or words, a minion. And all these minions out here that are just on autopilot, absorbing what everyone's telling them, they just repeat it. So you can't be like that, right? So I had to take my little minion and tell her, hold up. First of all, I apologize for not doing this sooner because I was afraid. This whole third dimensional life, I've always felt uncomfortable and didn't feel good. I didn't know that we really belonged here for the short time that we do, and that I had something, I was supposed to be here for a reason, not to just be told what to do, but I came here with a mission. And so I had to tell her, Jen, look, I got your back. And we came here to speak, to teach people how to hear from the Most High. I don't know how we're supposed to do it, but we've been hearing from God this whole time. And every time I talked to you and told you, this is me talking to my human, I told you, this is what God wants us to do, and you would say, no, because this is what so-and-so told us to do. This is what we were told we have to do by life, family. No, this is the job. Well, God told us to be a psychologist because we have a gift of reaching people. And no, my human said no, because your dad said you won't make any money doing that. You're supposed to be an engineer. So I, the soul within my human, just coiled back into my shell of a human, left my human out there hanging, being told what to do by everybody else but me, when I was given specific instructions from God. And so that's what happens. Until human was like, I I know you got my back. I got you. Believe you now that you got me. So we end it like this. We end it like this. My human was like, cool. And so reprogramming the subconscious also includes using brainwave frequencies. Because remember, your human is all electrical. Your human is a frequency. You are a big frequency, right? So if you're not in attunement with where you're going and who you really are, who you know yourself to be, then you're in attunement with this facade of a reality, which is very limited. We're only on Earth for such a very short time, and you get to live this unlimited existence. You get to live this unlimited, infinite reality now. Yep. So you use your binaural beats, you use your frequencies, you use your alpha. Alpha frequency is a frequency that makes you feel confident. You're in these brain waves all the time. Throughout the day, they fluctuate. So it's not just you wake up in gamma, gamma waves. You wake up and then you go straight to beta. It's not like that. But you do have gamma, you have beta, you have alpha, you have theta, you have delta. And you use those in order to maneuver it through life. And you recognize you're in the lows and the highs. So when you are in beta, you're in a very low frequency. You're worrying about life. You might be down on yourself. So when you realize you're in this low frequency, realize you're programming all the time. You are constantly telling your human what to do, who you are, what you're about, and your human knows that no matter what. Always. Your human is always of love, right? So you know this to be true. So reprogramming human becomes a constant up. Who are you? Who are you becoming? That's who you are at that very moment. And you have to see it through your mind's eye. Does that make sense? Hit the thumbs up button if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, remember, because we're just having to talk about it. And I'm sharing with you the steps that I did and that I do and that I teach in our programs and in my private coaching sessions. And if I could be of service to me.com. We're on Facebook at Ask Mama Necole in our private group. And so who are you? Wake up there. Before anyone else has a chance to shoot you down, to tell you you're not good enough, to say anything that makes you feel belittled, who are you? And that means you're in alignment with your values. That means you set the bar for who you are, and no one else had the opportunity to set that bar for you. You see what I'm saying, spiritual superstars? You control your life. You control your human. This is your beautiful life. You get to call the shots. You get to say how it's going to go down. You get to maneuver. You get to be happy. You get to be successful. You get to make it happen. And you get to rise back up when the low periods happen, because we all go through that depression, a long